The NRL Integrity Unit, I think, is just the headline on its
Yeah.
own.
Well, the fact that it exists is amazing as a
It, I,
thing.
I picture a busy office,
Yeah, it's like,
a bustling five-store people answer like there's people like hello, yeah, what's your and there's people moving around like in Wall Street or something, like bustling, yelling out, what's that? Oh no, another sexual assault. Yeah, let me just you know.
yeah, it's basically that it's probably got just a huge sprawling bureaucracy. Like there's just hundreds of employees, and
Yeah.
it's obviously still open during the pandemic
Yeah, it's
because
not. It's been busier.
yeah,
They're
it's
not
it's an
closing it down.
yeah it's and
It's an
also
essential service.
it's an essential service, and it sounds like they're responsible for gently reprimanding players for taking a shit in a hotel lobby.
Yeah.
Like they're not harsh.
No, no.
It's like cut it
They've
out.
got a protocol. They've got a protocol of what to say.
Yeah,
Like they're not immediately jumping to you're in trouble or whatever. They're like, let's talk about it. So when did you shit and did anyone film it? Look, it's okay. It's like any essential service or office. There's those signs up like you see in a hospital, those kinds of signs you see at essential services, like do not attack staff. Attacking staff is not acceptable in case
yeah,
the
yeah.
players turn up or whatever.
And then mistake them for a paramedic or something and spit at them.
Yeah,
Like, well,
yeah,
yeah, it's crazy when they've got reminders like don't spit at train people, like, you know what I mean? Like it's just,
I
oh
lose.
shit.
Yeah, I lose so much faith in humanity when I see don't punch doctors in the head. It's
Yeah,
like, fuck, yeah, okay,
I don't know
okay.
how they get enraged by them. But yeah, it's the NRL integrity. It sounds also the NRL integrity unit sounds like a parody. Like it doesn't sound like a real thing.
Yeah, it sounds like a sketch.
Yeah, it's like, but they're not as harsh as the police.
No, I think, like you were saying, that they're going to be the first code to come back, despite having the most outrageous, well documented, thoroughly videoed, outrageous pandemic behavior, like fishing trips, group hugs, shirts off. One of them was dancing. Did you see that? Just dancing with heaps of women. And then photographed with
Yeah,
heaps of women. He was like, oh, they just dropped by and left. And then the next day, another video came out of him dancing with them.
yeah.
Just
There
him
was
and 10 women.
yeah that have just dropped by. Apparently, they were on their way to another party.
Yeah, which is like just digging in
I mean,
deeper. There were all these parties going on, and I was just one of them.
yeah, they were dropping in. They were doing like a thing where you go to multiple parties. I was just one on the way.
Yeah, just digging
Give
in
me a
deeper.
break. He was like, give me a break. Like, and also they were like, he didn't do much wrong because they came to him as well.
Yeah, yeah. He was just
That's
at
what the
home.
NRL.
Oh, knock, knock, knock. Oh, yeah, come in. Oh, whoa, whoa. Just one woman after another. Whoa, whoa. All like scantily dressed.
Most
And
people have never had that many women in their house,
yeah.
even not during a pandemic.
Yeah. Another pile of paperwork for the NRL Integrity Unit. Another big, some fat guy with a suit, had an office job his whole life, goes, oh, great. Just a pile of paperwork.
Well, you can tell that he just rings them up and goes, come on, pull your socks up. Like it's that kind of vibe.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Come on. You think, come on. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I got this headline from the Gold Coast Bulletin. Cigarette sparks vicious glassing. I went in to investigate like more of the article, but it had a paywall. Like, there's a lot more to
yeah,
this story.
yeah, you just get the snippet because you've got
Subscribe.
to subscribe to get that in-depth coverage of the motivations behind that.
Mm. Yeah, I did get the couple of lines, which was like, it was at the Coolangatta Hotel, and it was a vicious glassing, but it was like making out like it's shocking over a cigarette. It's like, that's what every glassing is about. It's about
Yeah,
someone trying to bum a durry or around durries or,
it's either about cigarettes or disrespect at the
well, they
Coolangatta
go
Hotel.
hand in hand.
Yeah, it's like, give me a durry, or what do you looked at me weird, and then it's never like some deeper reason.
No, they act like it was surprising that it was about a durry. It's like, yeah, they're not glassing. They're not glassing them over, discussing Fukuyama's end of history, like the theory
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that liberal democracy is the final stage of culture and history. It wasn't that like, yeah, fucking Fukuyama was right. Can't. No, he's not. There's fucking a new system. Fuck you. You know?
Make you history, cunt. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're it's always, but it's almost like, yeah, it's, I read one about this guy that he used a pillowcase and he put a Breville sandwich press in it into a
Whoa.
pillowcase
Whoa.
and smashed his mate's head up with it and killed him. And then they asked him why he did it, and he was like, yeah, it's because he's a dog.
Mm.
Like, it's not
Keep it
even a
simple. Keep it
and their
simple.
friends as well. I've never been close to crushing my friend's head with a Breville sandwich press in a pillowcase. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've had some dog mates. That's the thing. But if you dug deeper into that case, you would have found he's a dog because he didn't give me a durry. Like,
Yeah.
there's probably more.
It's either, yeah, there was one about, I think there was a fight over a steak as well at one of those pubs where someone
I feel
ended
like
up
that's in the same ballpark. Durries, steak, piss, drinking piss. I feel like they're the main, and I feel like cars or bikes. Like, did you
yeah.
borrow my car? Where's my car? Did you scratch my car? You
Yeah,
know?
did you? I asked for Bernays. Where's the prawns? I said surf and turf, not turf without the surf.
You're going to get
Yeah.
surf and turfed, mate.
Hold the prawns, mate. Yeah, and then the one with the steak, yeah, he got stabbed with a knife, and those guys were in their 70s.
A steak knife.
Yeah, I think he got staked in the heart. So he had so he got stabbed in the heart, I think, and he had to get an emergency surgery. But I find these stories refreshing because, like, it's just a break from all the corona stuff. It's good to know people are still committing crimes.
Yeah.
You know, society's still, like, while there's been a lot of changes, people are still killing each other over a durry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, it's some semblance of normality.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you open up the Gold Coast Bulletin, man, glass for durry. And I'm like, oh, thank God. You know, like, thank God we've touched back into reality.
It's heartwarming. Like, it's better than some graph where they're like, we've flattened the exponential, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
All
you
those
want to
graphs.
see Darren was flattened at the Coolangatta Hotel after he asked
Yeah,
for a durry.
it's not a 3D graph simulation of a jogger's spit carrying a virus particle. You're like, what the fuck's that? It's Darren got a pillowcase with a Breville sandwich, mate, and crushed his mate's skull because he was a dog. And you're like, thank God.
The Aussie spirit is still alive. Wuhan Batman, which I think is just a great headline, even if we went no further with it.
Well,
Is that a Daily Telegraph?
That was Daily Telegraph. That is accompanied by like a picture of a bat and a Chinese guy, and it's just Wuhan Batman. Fuck, like the angle is like the angle's just like, what a fuckhead.
The Daily Telegraph have strung together loose, like, Wuhan, there's bats, they're fucking eating them. They can't be blatantly racist, but they're trying to give enough to fuel racist attacks against Chinese people. Just, you know?
Yeah, they're trying to emphasize the rage of the Wuhan Batman, like that Batman, like, and just the fact that he would be, you know, the cause of it.
Yeah, they love that.
The cause, you know, like, because the cause is still quite vague, but they're like, it's this guy, and I feel sorry for this guy. Well, he's just a guy who was working at this lab, that
Right.
they reckon that where the virus, they reckon it was leaked.
And it's so probable that it wasn't from that.
Yeah, but the Daily Telegraph's just like, it's definitely from a lab, probably. I mean, like they're kind of...
They're eating bats. He's fucking come out of the lab after he ate a bat. Now he's running around, spreading it everywhere. Wuhan Batman, bats, death, fuck. Fucking Chinese people eating bats. Fuck that. That's the subtext, though. They're eating bats and they're fucking spreading it around. Admit it.
And then there's a photo of this guy going, he's involved. He's intimately involved with the initiation of it.
To put a single face on it and then make it attacking like this guy's a criminal, did it wrong is just...
Well, it's his face next to a bat and then the Wuhan Batman. So, of course, you just go, that's him.
Right.
But that guy works at the virology lab in Wuhan. I don't know if they're still operating, if they've opened that back up yet. Or if they're...
Yeah, I wonder if they were like, I think it's, I think we're done. I think we're done.
We might open next year. It's like the cruises.
Yeah.
Cruises 2021, Wuhan Lab 2021. Like we're going to open up again.
That's great. That's the day. I love the Daily Telegraphs. What about the Sydney Morning Herald's take?
The Sydney Morning Herald is like almost like the sober brother of the other paper. You know, just going, look, they're even reprimanding them a bit. They're like, look, the Daily Telegraph seems to say this, but there's only like a 5% chance that that's the case.
Sober and drunk is a great way of describing Daily Telegraph and Sydney Morning Herald. From fucking bats, the Batman, to like, there's a small percentage chance that Wuhan Lab is actually involved as doctors and chief surgeons around the world deny the lab link. He's got a fucking bat.
Yeah.
Here he is. This is the actual guy. It's the Wuhan Batman.
That's him. He's fucked.
There he goes.
Yeah, because like it was like when Trump won in 2016. I remember the Courier Mail's front page was Star Spangled Ranger.
It's great.
That's drunk. It's like Star Spangled Ranger, fucking Ranger got power. They give a red nut a fucking job. Yeah.
You're right. It is like the Murdoch press consists of the drunk and the sober brothers.
Yeah, because then you read the Fairfax, or like it's just like Trump has win geopolitical change. It's not. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
There's like, fucking
time for a red nut.
Red nuts running the country.
What do we think about that? Yeah, it's really the lowest.
Because it's almost the readers are going, I used to bully them at school.
Everyone who's going to court in Southport, this headline column, daily column, is definitely unique to the Gold Coast. I've never seen anything like that in a newspaper before. They just literally just list everyone who's going to court in Southport today.
Yeah, it's like, because it's a regular column, it's like the bit where they put the obituaries.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, Ruth died, 83.
Yeah.
Like, they've got so many crimes, they're like, we better just make it a little column.
And it's also it's unique to that newspaper because there's people like, oh, Darren's going today, is he? You know what I mean? Like, there's interest, there's enough interest for it to be a daily column.
Yeah, they know.
I don't think the Australian would have, it's more like, the Australian tends to focus on individuals like Pell. You know?
He's a mate of mine. Like that kind of angle.
What did you say? I saw a Gold Coast. What did you say?
I just like, that'll be an article in the Australian, like, Pell, he's a mate of mine.
Oh, yeah. The Australian, does love Pell. What's he done wrong? Pedophile. Yes. Okay.
I had lunch with him.
He's a pedophile who I had lunch with. Is he it's sort of that angle of sort of like, he's around, we know him, he's not a bad bloke. So he's a pedophile now.
There's a guy called Jared Henderson in the Australian. He's like, I've had lunch with him. He's a great guy. What are you doing? Leave him alone.
the Gold Coast Bulletin hates pedophiles, and that's the difference between the Australian and like the Bulletin Courier Mail style newspapers, is that the demographic that reads "Who's in court today at Southport" hates pedos, and there's a headline next to it that says, "Hey Dad, pedo back in jail." Like, just calling him pedo, I like the Australian's never going to be like, "Pell, pedo, punished," you know?
It'll be like, Pell, great bloke, had a degustation 5-course lunch with him in a Sky Cube, and he's a great guy. And
Pell sits down to 5-course meal with me, yet pedophile?
yeah, there's one great bit in the Australian where Jared Henderson focuses on the impossibility of Pell getting his robes off because they're too thick in a 5-minute window. It's like he uses graphs and shit. Like, he's like, 5 minutes, you'd need 5 minutes to get that robe off because it's too, like, he says that he was wearing like so many robes he couldn't. It's this weird argument.
That's when you've got very little defense. When you're like, technically the clothes would have been hard to get off if I was fucking kids. I don't think I'd be wearing a thick robe, and I was. And I tell you what, they're bloody difficult to get off. So, and I had lunch with him, by the way.
Everyone in the Australian has had lunch with him.
Yeah.
Like all the columnists, for some reason.
Which is a smart move by a pedophile, isn't it?
To have a bunch of lunches.
With journalists. So when you do get caught, it's like, come on.
Yeah, come on. You serious? Yeah, it's crazy because I don't think the Gold Coast Bulletin would necessarily defend Pell, even though it's part of, but it's part of Murdoch Media.
But it's different demographics. That's what I'm saying. Like, bogans, to use a broad term, bogans love Christmas, hate pedophiles, hate foreigners that are doing shit that I told you they'd do shit, now they're doing it, and you reckon I'm racist, but I'm fucking not, but here they are, eating bats kind of territory. It's like that time we saw a Gold Coast Bulletin article that was like, Muhammad Arab punches paramedic.
Yeah.
Remember that article? That was his name, Muhammad Arab, and how everyone would have been like, yes, fuck yeah. It's the prophet and the race. It's not us being racist. We're saying that an Arab called Muhammad, so he's obviously a Muslim, and he's an Arab punching paramedics.
It's camouflage for the thing. It's like, no, he did cow punch a paramedic.
It's the equivalent of going, Jesus Catholic raped a child. Like, we're not saying Catholic priests do that, but it's hidden in the name already.
Yeah, Jesus Catholic. That's essentially.
Jesus Catholic rapes child.
Jesus Caucasian. Jesus Caucasian.
Yeah, Jesus, that's better. Catholic Caucasian.
Jesus Caucasian.
Yeah, Jesus Caucasian.
Yeah.
Pedophile.
But it's funny because, like, the Australian, they're like, you should defend Pell, but like, they're all, do you know what I mean? Like, it's the same paper, but it's just like, this one's for people with a brain injury.
Yeah, it's like the Australian knows there's like a right-wing conservative element that wants to hear that, which is the defense of a religious figure that's high up. And then the bogan end of their demographic is more interested in pedo caught, punished, pedos.
Yeah, you know, I'd love to find out I'd love to find out if any of the Courier Mail type stuff was like, Pell's good, I've had lunch with him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they...
No, there'd be none of that. Pedo dines out. That's what that'd be. Pedo caught dining out, and they'd be getting into that. He's having a good lunch when he's a pedo. Should pedos be having nice lunches?
They call him Sir Lunch a lot.
They like a good alliteration. Pedo Pell prefers pasta.
Orders the perfect pasta.
Pedo Pell prefers perfect pasta panini.
Pappardelle. Pappardelle pasta for Pedo. Like, it's all got a rhyme and shit. Conga line of backpackers in Coogee coughing in COVID conspiracy. Like, it's all...
Oh, shit. Oh man.
Pell has particular partialness to pasta.
Pell, pedo pasta.
Yeah, Pell has pedo pasta.
Look out, Melbourne. Saudi Arabia's radical shift to the left. No more child executions or public floggings and lifting the ban on women driving. So they've taken a... It wouldn't surprise me if the Greens open up an office over there after that. They're not executing kids anymore or publicly whipping people. It's a radical progressiveness. They're a few steps from Melbourne, though, aren't they? They're not going to change the little walking man in traffic signals to a woman. I think that's a few steps away from, like, let women walk down the street without a male guardian, then change the...
Yeah, there's a hierarchy of there's an order of things you do.
Yeah.
But I think
yeah,
it's weird because I feel like with all those announcements, they expect a round of applause.
Well, the ban on women isn't a new one. The child executions is their radical new one, where they've gone, we're not killing kids anymore. When they announced, I actually watched the footage of them announcing the ban on women driving, like that being lifted, which was a huge public campaign by feminist activists in Saudi Arabia. It wasn't just something the government decided to do, like there was a prolonged campaign. Anyway, they got up at the United Nations, I think it was, and I watched the footage, and the guy from Saudi Arabia, the diplomat, gets up and goes, "We have now lifted the ban on women driving." And people were like really slow to clap. They were like, yeah, man. Like,
yeah, it's a bit much because like it's like Joseph Fritzl releasing that Underground Family and going, "I released them."
Yeah.
Like, where's my round of applause? Give it up.
Yeah.
People,
We're gonna release the slaves. So, thank you. It's been hard, but yeah.
You still get punished for the slaves. It's like, I think the IRA had a similar thing where they're like, we're not going to bomb pubs anymore. And people are like, okay, you can, well, yeah, good.
Cool. Well, that's, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.